They thought it would be hilarious, sending the daughter they mocked and overlooked up the mountain to help the recluse everyone feared. But when she reached his cabin, the man who opened the door didn't laugh. He looked at her as if fate had finally brought him the one soul he'd been waiting for. Lena's family had always treated her like an afterthought. When guests came, her sisters were pushed forward, painted and polished, while Lena was told to stay busy, stay quiet, stay out of sight. So when her father announced she'd be the one delivering supplies to the mountain man, the room burst into snickers. "Maybe he'll finally take her off our hands," one sister whispered. Lena heard it. She always did. But she lifted her chin, gathered the heavy pack, and set off up the narrow trail alone. Anything was better than staying where she was unwanted. The mountain air was crisp, carrying the scent of pine and wood smoke. By the time she reached the cabin, her heart thudded from the climb, and her fingers ached from gripping the straps. She raised her hand to knock. But the door opened first. A man stood there, broad-shouldered and steady, with dark hair brushing his jaw and eyes that held both sharpness and gentleness. He looked more like carved stone than flesh, yet something about him felt strangely warm. "You came through the ridge alone?" he asked, his voice deep but kind. Lena nodded, expecting disapproval or annoyance. Instead, he stepped forward and relieved her of the pack as though it weighed nothing. "Come inside. You're freezing." She hesitated, unused to being welcomed. But he waited, really waited, his gaze steady, patient. Inside, the cabin glowed with firelight. A pot simmered on the stove, filling the room with the scent of herbs and fresh bread. Lena sank onto a bench, letting warmth seep into her bones. The man, Elias, poured her tea. His hands were rough from chopping wood and carving stone, yet the cup trembled slightly as he set it before her. "Why would they send you alone?" he asked softly. Lena stared into the steam. It was a joke. Elias went still. For a long moment, he said nothing. Then he crouched in front of her, meeting her eyes directly. "You deserve better than that," he said. "Much better." Something in his voice, steady, certain, slipped into the empty spaces she'd been carrying for years. Outside, snow began to fall in slow, quiet flakes. Inside, the mountain man looked at her as if she was not a joke, not a burden, but everything he had ever hoped to find.